mad here.
Hi guys and dolls. So today I wanted to do a video that kind of shows how those of you who have lower, I guess you could say eye crease to eyebrow ratio could get a similar look. To be completely honest, the best method for people who have very little brow to eye crease ratio is to use the 3-section method. And basically what that is, I'm just going to use an eyeliner as my little pointer stick. You use the first third with a lighter color. You use the middle part as like the brighter color, the boldest color. Oftentimes it's basically like the mid-tone color. And then you do your darkest color or your brightest color in the outer third. I like to do mine in kind of like a C shape to kind of rope in that crease. I blended mine up a lot. Obviously, that combination can be switched up and used and done whatever which way you want to do it, but if you're confused on what you should be doing if you have very little eye crease, that is definitely a really good way to start, good jumping off point. Whereas if you have like a hooded lid, doing like a cut crease is kind of nice because it can create that crease for you. Honestly, the look that I'm going to do works for everyone. If you have very little lid ratio, not want to blend it into the crease as much, you're not going to want to blend it up as much as I did. I just kind of ended up going for it because I get really excited when purple and pink are involved because I just love it. This ended up looking kind of Cheshire Catty, so I think that's what I'm going to call this video. I know other people have done it, and I don't care. In the sidebar over there, I have listed some videos where I use a similar method where it's the 3 kind of parts. I didn't really used to explain things very well. These are some of my older videos, and I thought that kind of sharing those in a way, even though they're available on YouTube anyway, but kind of pointing them out would kind of also be helpful for some of you. A lot of you ask, like, how did you get better at makeup? I didn't used to be this good. I'm not saying like I'm so awesome. I'm just saying like my skills have improved over time. As proof, look at my older videos. So I used to use the 3 method for a long time. Then I learned how to do a cut crease, and it's pretty much been love with the cut crease ever since. Anyway, so I'm just like floopy and weird. Anyway, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go do some stuff other than making video. Really? Did I just say that? I did. Okay, last thing I want to say, blog post. Over in the sidebar, there'll be a link to the blog post for this video with pictures and all that good stuff. Anyway, check the links in the sidebar, watch the video, comment if you want, that'd be cool. Any other like robotic things that I need to do, please comment, rate, and subscribe. Enjoy the video. Okay, so I'm going to take a shader brush that's slightly angled. Unfortunately, this brush isn't available anymore for purchase, but just any kind of shader brush that you want to use. So I'm going to take my Cherry Blossom Quadra set from Harajuku Honeys, and I'm going to take the light, kind of like lavender lilac-y color, just get a lot of that on my brush, and then I'm going to tap it off, and unfortunately you have to tap it off a lot, which kind of means that you have to keep applying the color over and over, but these have like glitter in them, and I don't want the glitter on my face. So anyway, we're going to apply this color to the inner third, which is where we're wanting to concentrate the lighter colors. And then kind of blend that over the middle part of the lid as well. Then I'm going to take the super crazy bright pink and get some of that on the brush. Okay, and again, tap off all the little sparkles. And then I'm going to apply that. I'm going to start from like the outer part of the middle third and then blend it in. And the best way to blend when you're doing eyeshadow like this is just side to side. And then kind of blend that out to where the outer third will be. Pack on the color to concentrate the brightness of the pink, and then use side to side motions to blend it. Okay, so now I'm going to take a brush that's basically the exact same, but it was already dirty with the darker colors. And I'm going to take this darker purple, very similar to MAC's Vibrant Grape, but obviously a lot cheaper. If memory serves, I think this quadra set was $14, and Vibrant Grape alone is $14 from MAC, so there you go. Anyway, I'm going to, I put that on like the end of the brush like this, and I'm going to apply that to the outer third of the lid. Trying to keep a low profile with it, especially if you are someone who has lower, or I keep thinking like lower brows. It's not your brows are lower, you just have less eyelid space. You definitely want to keep a lower profile. I'm going to end up going up a little bit higher with it just because, you know, I do have a lot of space between the crease of my eye and my eyebrow. And if I don't blend it up a little bit, then it looks funny on me, personally. At least I feel like it does. But anyway, keep a kind of a low profile with that and blend it into the hot pink. And for the crease part, I'm not going to do my normal cut crease. What I'm basically doing is just taking this and sweeping it into the like inner part of the middle third, or basically like bringing it just a little over halfway in. Okay, now if you want to add like a little bit of a plummy look to this, you can take some of this deep kind of burgundy color, pop some of that onto pop some of that onto the end of your brush, and again I tap that off and just kind of sweep that in the outer third to warm it up, make it really nice and plummy. You can use circular motions, side to side motions, big sweeps like this, whatever works for you. Generally for me it's a combination of all of that. So that right there is basic. That's kind of the basics. As you can see, I have like the lighter color, the medium color, and the darker color. It has kind of a nice fade, but it does kind of help to make my eye pop, makes my eye seem a little bit whiter because the lighter part is out here and the darker part is in here, and just kind of frames the eye, which is kind of the purpose for makeup, is to make your eyes stand out and to frame your eyes so that it becomes the focal point of your face. I am going to now punch it up because I like fun, exciting makeup, and I'm sure you guys do. That's why you're subscribed to my channel. So I'm basically going to keep on adding more of these two purples. I'm just using a little blending brush. This happens to be a MAC 217 to blend out the edges. If you want to make it a little bit darker, a little bit kind of smokier, you can take a matte black. I have this palette out, so I'm just going to use the black from my 42 palette. If you want information about the 42 palette or want to read a review for it, whatever, I will have a link in the sidebar to a review I'm going to do on my blog, but I'm not going to do one here on the channel just because I feel like it's been done to death. But anyway, take a little bit of that on a tiny little shader brush and just kind of sweep it along the outer third, then kind of curve it into the outer C like this. Outer C, outer V, whatever, it's the same thing. And then I'm going to take a dirty blending brush, which I used for this side. This is the MAC 217. And then just blend it out. You don't want it to necessarily look black, you just want it to deepen the purple colors. Using a matte highlighter before you use your shiny highlighter, what that can do is soften the edge of your eyeshadow, and also when you use something that has a lot of pigmentation as your matte highlighter, such as your face powder or what I usually use is Max Blanc type, what it does is it can fix any boo-boos. Like if you went too high with your eyeshadow, especially, very, very important when you have low crease to brow ratio. It's really important to make sure that you don't go up too high. And the matte, highly pigmented highlight color can really, really help you out with that. So for a shiny highlight, I'm going to take Pink Opal pigment from MAC for my shiny highlight. This is just a sample jar. Recently, MAC changed their pigment jars, so now you get less and they charge you for the same amount. Moving on. I'm just applying that to the brow bone area to kind of help to bring it forward. And the shininess of this is going to do that. Plus, Pink Opal is like crazy pretty. It's basically like a creamy white eyeshadow, like loose eyeshadow with a pink duochrome, which is just kind of perfect for this look. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply my eyeliner now. So I already did my basic rimming of my waterline with my 24/7 pencil from Urban Decay that I always use. Sorry, I'm like hella weird mood. You know, I get all hyphy when there's like purple and hot pink involved. Like, okay, anyway, so now I'm going to take this is a sample of a Harajuku Honey Sex Pot. Comes in a little baggie. Very, very, very generous sample. Really excited. Anyway, I'm taking my little eyeliner smudgy brush and some Ben Nye Liquicet. And I'm just going to get that brush wet. And then I'm going to take my little baggie and I'm just going to get some of the eyeshadow from the side of the bag. And then I'm going to, I already applied Ransom 24/7 liner from Urban Decay, but I'm going to just kind of pop this over it. It just makes it a little bit deeper, or not really deeper, but brighter. So I did that to the top. Now I'm going to repeat that on the bottom. I'm just going to run the 24/7 liner along my bottom lash line. And then when I get to that outer edge, I'm just going to make sure that meets at the top. And if at any time you make a boo-boo, Q-tips are your friend. Okay, so now my eyes are basically done. So for my lips, I'm going to do kind of a magenta lip. I'm going to start with Fuchsia lip liner from NYX, which is like my favorite lip liner ever. No, you're not freaking out. I am fast forwarding through this. I already had lip balm on, by the way. That really matters. Okay, so that alone looks really awesome, but just to give that extra little layer of like, hello, my lips are awesome, I'm going to use Jilted lipstick from Urban Decay. I love this one because it's somewhere in between like a hot magenta and a red. So it's like one of my absolute faves of all time. And then if you need to, clean it up with lip liner basically. So yeah, I guess it's pretty much done. I added some bronzer. Now I think I am too glowy or something. I don't know. Anyway, I really do hope that this video was helpful for those of you that have kind of some problems with not having enough crease to eyebrow ratio, and or you know, just like honestly, this looks good on anyone. It's kind of like the Cheshire Cat. In the sidebar, I will put some links to some of my other videos where I use the same kind of 3 technique where you have like the inner lid, the middle color, and the outer color. Usually the darker colors on the outer part to kind of frame the eyes and kind of make them the focal point. And I know I did kind of bring in the darker color into the crease. That's just because that's what I prefer to do. You guys don't have to do what I prefer to do on myself. So on my blog, I will have a blog post for this. Sorry you guys, this video is like I will have a blog post for this video showing pictures and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm gonna go film the intro for this and forget that I sounded like an idiot through this whole video. Savvy? Alright, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye! Hi guys and dolls. So, let's get out of the way.